If you're a small business owner interested in purchasing a building for your business, you need to know about this. It's possibly the biggest myth in SBA lending, and I don't know where it came from, but today I'm going to clear it up once and for all. Hey, I'm Ray Drew, an actual SBA lender, and in this video I'm going to explain how you can buy a building for your small business with no money down. Okay, I'm just going to come out of the gate and say it, but there is no catch here. This is not clickbait. I know it sounds too good to be true, but I close these loans for a living, and in this video I will show you exactly what the SBA rules say and why this 100% financing program is allowed under the SBA 7A loan program. And by the way, just because it's allowed doesn't mean every bank's going to offer it, but I know a couple dozen who do, including myself, and that number is growing as more and more SBA lenders catch on. Now keep in mind, you still have to qualify for it, so stick around to the end because I'm going to also tell you the main factor needed for qualifying for this type of financing. Let's start from the beginning. If you're tired of leasing and you're finally ready to move your business into your own building, which by the way is a great idea, think about it. Start making yourself rich instead of your landlord by building equity. You don't have to deal with the uncertainty of renewing your lease every 5 years. And when you're done building your business and you go to sell it to retire and sail off into the sunset, you can keep the building and then you become the landlord and you're creating a passive stream of income for yourself. It's truly the ultimate investment for any small business owner. So when you go to get pre-approved, option 1, you have conventional bank financing, 20% down plus closing costs. Then you have SBA options. There's 2. The 504 is often used and that requires a 10% down payment. And then you have the 7A, which most banks will tell you requires a 10% down payment, but they would be wrong. That's their requirement, not the SBA's requirement. I'm going to put up the section of the SBA's SOP that discusses equity requirements for existing businesses. As you can see, the SBA requires us to assess the business's equity position and determine if an equity injection is needed, and if so, how much. No mention of a 10% standard equity injection requirement. They are literally pulling that out of thin air. And that's good news for small businesses, especially those rapidly growing ones, because if you have a small business, you know cash is king. And choosing where to put your precious capital is a critical choice that small business owners need to make daily. Do I put this money into a down payment for a building, or do I use it to fuel growth? Well, the SBA 7A loan is the solution to that problem. Now you don't have to choose. In fact, the 7A even allows you to include expansion capital into the real estate loan. So you can finance things like equipment, inventory, and working capital into this all-in-one financing solution. The key to making this work lies on your balance sheet. You know that statement you study every morning at breakfast? I'm just kidding. The reality is that most small business owners don't really pay a whole lot of attention to their balance sheet. They look at the bank account and maybe the P&L every once in a while. But don't sleep on that balance sheet, I'm telling you. Look, if you've been in business for many years and you don't have much debt in the business and you don't drain every dollar from the business, then you're doing the things that are going to ensure a healthy balance sheet. And you'll have a high likelihood of qualifying for this program. Now, on the other hand, if you're overly leveraged, have a relatively new business, and treat the business like a piggy bank, chances are your balance sheet is weak. And a lender should require an equity injection in those cases. It all comes down to prudent, common sense lending, which isn't so common these days. So there you have it. If you found that video helpful and you want more insider tips from an actual SBA lender, I would invite you to click that subscribe button because I've got plenty more where that came from.